They say you need to lift a massive amount of weight to build your chest. But on the other hand, somebody else will tell you that you need a lot of volume and a lot of reps and a lot of sets to really get those pecs growing. So which one is it? Heavy weight or more volume? Stay tuned to figure out which one it is. What is up, guys? Welcome back to Liftaholics TV. Today I'm going to be going over some exercises that help you develop and maximize and build a bigger chest. So in my opinion, building a more developed, bigger chest, you can do that by adding in a little bit of heavier weight, but that development, that growth is all going to come from using a good range of motion, good tempo, and a lot of volume. I'm looking to build and develop a bigger, better chest. I'm going to try and prioritize the incline movements over the mid-level movements. Now, for me, the incline has always helped me directly correlated right to how much I can lift on the flat bench. So if my incline press gets better, then typically my flat bench gets better. And what I'm doing too when I'm working on the incline, I'm also working on this upper part of my chest, which is also going to help make your chest look bigger, especially when you're wearing tanks, especially when you're doing t-shirts. That top portion is going to pop out a lot more if you're getting in those incline sets. So now when I'm doing these, I'm really focusing on my tempo, my range of motion, and I'm not really worried that much about the weight that I'm using. While using a little bit heavier weight, it'll help you feel the exercise just a little bit more. Really getting in that volume and making sure you're using a full range of motion is what's really going to help you develop that upper chest muscle. Most people are doing, they come over here in that incline, they want to cut the movement short one of two ways. So they're either coming down here and they're only stopping here and pressing back up like that. That's no good. Or they're coming all the way up here and they're stopping it right here, only going up here. That's no good either. We're looking to reach all the way down to the chest and then pressing all the way back up, fully locked out. That's how you're gonna feel each and every rep and get the most out of each and every rep. So we're just gonna take it up little by little. You don't have to jump from, one plate to two plates. You can kind of get some type of set in between. Depending on what your max is and how much you can lift and what you can rep, you always wanna get a good rep weight. You always wanna be somewhere between 6 to 8 reps or 8 to 10 reps. You never wanna kind of drop under that. We're not 1 rep maxing, we're not 2 rep maxing. So I'm just gonna go up here, probably get 10, then we're gonna gradually go up from there. What is up, guys? It's Marlon here, just reminding you guys that if you're liking the video, if you're feeling the channel, go ahead and make sure you hit that like button and that subscribe button. This will only further help me understand what kind of content you guys are feeling, what you guys are vibing with, and which ones you are not. But make sure you don't get out of here without hitting that subscribe button. That is only gonna help and push this channel a little bit further. Back to the video. Always remember your breathing. Inhaling, then exhaling out on a push. That's only gonna make your set that much better. If you're holding your breath when you're pushing out or just holding your breath in general, you're gonna have a hard time pushing away once you get up into those higher rep counts. Make sure you're practicing good breathing techniques. Now, more recently, what I've been doing on the very last set, once I get done with incline, once I get done with flat, I'll put on a little bit lighter weight and I'll just try and rep out 15. See how many I get, just like as a burnout set. Just something that's kind of adding on top more recently, trying to exhaust the muscle a little bit more. So you can always approach the flat bench similar to the incline bench. The only thing differently that I'm gonna show you here that I didn't show you on the incline is coming to a dead stop with the bar. So I found this has significantly helped my strength when I throw in a couple sets using a dead stop. So I'm just coming all the way down to the bottom, letting the bar rest on my chest for 1 second, 2 seconds, and then pushing up and seeing how many I can get like that. So that has helped me improve my strength, especially on the flat, which in correlation always helps me with the incline by doing these 1 or 2 sets, after my working set. Always gonna get a couple less reps than you would with whatever weight you're using, just because you're challenging yourself a little bit more. You're coming from that resting dead stop position, but definitely effective. If you want to blow your chest up, you have to use the dumbbells. So the dumbbells are going to work a little bit differently than the barbells. So I can come over here and I can work each side of my chest individually instead of working them at the same time with the barbells. So this is going to highlight any deficiencies that you have in your chest. So if your right pec's a little bit stronger than your left pec's a little bit bigger than the right, is going to help you focus on each side of your chest. That way you can evenly develop your chest on both sides. I'm going to prioritize the incline, but I'm also not going to neglect the mid-level either. I can still get a lot of good reps in, focusing on the mid-level in my chest, but I'm really going to try and grind out that incline portion, because for me, I'm trying to really grow and blow up that upper portion of my chest and help that develop a little bit more. Now, if I was starting off on the dumbbells, I would tell you, take your time, get loose, make sure your elbows, your shoulders are all juiced up and ready for the set, but we just came from incline and flat. So you should be relatively warm. If you're not, you need to rethink your intensity when you're going through the first couple exercises, because you should be loose, if not already kind of exhausted out from the incline and the flat bench. Biggest things that I remember when I'm doing the dumbbells, whether that's on the mid-level, whether that's on the incline, is my elbow position. I'm gonna ruin the entire set if I got my elbows all the way up here and I'm pressing like this. I gotta make sure I'm somewhere in between here, right in there. Not too much crunched in here, but somewhere between here. That way when I'm pressing, I got most of that load, the tension is staying on my chest, then I'm pushing back out using a full range of motion. If I start going up here, I'm pressing from my shoulders more than my chest. And then I'm also putting my shoulders at risk for injury. So I always want to say my shoulders, elbows, whatever the joint is that you're using, you want to protect that. And to do that, you need to make sure that you got a slight little bend here. So that small little twist that you're doing here with the dumbbell, that's only to get this portion of your arm at a good angle, 30, 45 degree angle, and make sure that you're using your chest the whole way through. General rule of thumb, especially when you're hitting your chest, you gotta understand where you are in your lifting journey. So I've been working out for a long time, so my chest can handle, a couple sets of barbell, a couple sets of dumbbell, a couple sets of flat barbell, a couple sets of incline dumbbell. So I kind of can measure and know where I'm at. So I can come over here, and now that I feel a lot more loose, I could probably go up and weight a little bit more. But today, I really want to focus on the tempo or the volume. So I'm just gonna try and get more than 10 reps with the 90s, try and get maybe 11 or 12 on this set, instead of going up to 100 or 105s where I know I can press and get a good amount of reps. But always know where you're at in your journey. Don't try and over exert or try and do too much to the point where you're putting yourself at risk for injury. You're over exhausting the muscle, you're burning it out, you're feeling different strains and tightness, and you got knots all over the place because you're over exerting yourself, you're doing too much. So you need to have that good volume and know what works best for you. If someone who's been working out for a long time, you might be able to do 1 rep max all the way up on the bench and then tear it all the way down and do volume, and then go on the incline and hit a bunch of volume sets, and then come over here on the dumbbells and do the same thing. But if you're somebody who's just started working out, maybe 3 sets of each is enough. Maybe you only need to focus on 1 incline movement, whether that's the barbell or the dumbbells for that chest session. Maybe you don't need to include both. So always know what works best for you, and the only way you're gonna find that out is through trial and error. You're not gonna find out by not doing, you're not gonna find out by not trying. You gotta get in the gym and you gotta try and see what works best for you, incorporating all of these exercises that we've gone over so far and using a good cue. I didn't get 12, but I'm perfectly fine with that set because those last 2 or 3 reps were a lot more challenging than those first 1, 2, or 3 reps. So that's a pretty good indicator that the weight that you're using, if you're getting around that target rep range and it's starting to feel a lot heavier, a lot different than in the beginning of the set than it is towards the end of the set, you're probably using a good weight. One thing that I'm a really big advocate of, especially when we start getting into the dumbbell sections and the machine sections where you can easily interchange the weight without having to get up, tear plates off, put plates on, is finishing the set. So if I got a goal right here, I'm gonna stick with the 90s because I know it's gonna challenge me and I know I might not get 10 reps. I'm gonna try and hit 10 there. But if I fall short, if I get 6, 7, 8, I'm gonna drop them and immediately I'm picking up this lighter weight, these 70s that I got right here, and I'm going and I'm finishing the set. Get 10, lightweight. Got 7 there. Squeeze all of it out. Make sure I ain't had nothing left. Now we're gonna take these 70s and get a minimum of 3 reps. If you got more, you better squeeze that out. Don't leave no reps on the table. Cable flies are just as important to me as the pressing movements, whether it's with the barbell, whether it's with the dumbbell. These flies are really important when you're trying to build your chest because you're stretching your chest out this way, stretching it out, working in a totally different way than you would with just pressing up and down. I mean, essentially the only difference that you're getting between the barbell and a dumbbell is you're able to work each side individually. Here, you're able to do that as well, but you can work it and stretch it differently. So I always go all 3 levels, the bottom level, again, to work that upper chest, the mid level to work the mid, and then above to kind of hit on the lower part of my pecs. So I'm gonna make sure that I'm using the same principles. I wanna get a good full range of motion. I wanna make sure here though, that I'm squeezing in the middle and I'm getting a good 3-second count when lowering. I always use the cables because I feel like I can create a lot more tension using these than I can with the dumbbells. It's just my personal preference. You should use both to see which one works best for you and find out which one you could create the most tension with. Squeeze it in there. My elbow position doesn't change, and I'm coming right back up. Good squeeze. Good 3-second count going down. Right back up. Good squeeze. Elbow position stays the same. Elbows stay the same. Pulling right back up. Really got a volume and rip these boys out. Get in between 10 and 15 reps. I normally go for like 2 to 3 sets at each level, low, mid, high, and then I'm gonna show you how we close it out. To end the workout off, I always gotta do a couple burnout sets of dips. That way make sure that I use my body weight to work the muscle group too, not just the weights. I just be able to move my own body weight and be able to get stronger off of using my own body weight. So I'm always gonna end it off with either some dips or some push-ups. So I'm gonna end it off with a couple of failure sets of dips, 2 to 3 sets, and I'm gonna get out of here. already, hit that subscribe and like button. See you next time.